So now they've got to start from deep in their end of the field, and Garrison Hurst takes advantage of it. He takes the handoff, switches to his right, gets to the 20. He's in the 30, needs to cut in. He comes back up the right sideline, breaks the third tackle, comes down to the 30. He's down to the 20. He's down to the 10. He's down to the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! 49ers! 96-yard run from scrimmage. Garrison Hurst.
Young, back to throw. In trouble. He's going to be sacked. No, gets away. He runs, gets away again, goes to the 40, gets away again, to the 35, cuts back at the 30, to the 20, the 50, the 10. He died. Touchdown, 49ers.
7-11, 27-yard line. 49ers into the backfield. Smith on third down. He'll take it himself for a first down. Alex Smith gets in. Touchdown.
His left hip. Third down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking down in the post, and it's good. Touchdown! Touchdown 49ers! But it's second down. Ryan takes the snap, goes to slant to the left side. It's Russell, intercepted! The 49ers pick it, and Navarro Bowman is redemption! Navarro Bowman running it all the way for a touchdown! No greater redemption!
Kaepernick shoots it. Hold everybody. Colin Kaepernick. What a game. Touchdown.
Click, click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? Nothing But Niners crew is back, and we are here to have a quick little discussion, man. We're just here to have a little bit of fun. There's not a lot of news to go over. We're not going to break any news or anything like that. We don't have anything like that, man. But, man, Breezy started some stuff on Twitter. You know, before I even do that, fellas, how are y'all doing? Let's start with my man, Brian. Brian down here. What's going on, man? How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good. How about yourself?
I'm great, man. You got the Merry Christmas 49ers. But I'm telling your backgrounds keep me on my toes, man. If I was like in a black hole and didn't know what time of year it was, I could just watch your background and get a feel for something going on in the world, man. So I like those things, man.
I got my December tail crate today, so celebration.
There you go. There you go. And then my man, I pointed to the wrong side. Y'all caught me slipping. Breezy over here, man. Let's look at him, man. How you feeling, bro? What's going on with you?
I'm good, man. It's good to be back on the show, man. I wasn't trying to start something. Actually, you started this when you sent out that text message saying breaking news, and I'm like, what I miss? I got all my alerts on. You started it.
Well, all right. So what Breezy's talking about. Oh, by the way, guys, if this is your first time, you hit that like and subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you know exactly where we're going live. There was zero notification of this show coming on. There was none at all. Like, we just decided to do a show. There was no warning, no notification or anything like that. So shout out to you guys for making it in here. Y'all are the real MVPs, man, for real. And everybody in the chat, man, I see you guys showing some love. It's Friday and everything, right? And we're here to just chill and talk Niners. Now, let me tell you guys what happened. Breezy posted this tweet, and it says, and I quote, the 49ers will finish with a 3-1 record versus the AFC East in 2020. Hashtag FTTB with a little 49ers official logo, faithful to the Bay. And I quote tweeted it, and I said, and I quote, I completely agree with this, ... except we're getting smoked by the Bills on Monday.
I don't understand how you can agree. It so confused me. All I could do was shake my head. I think that was my response, because I'm like, we done played everybody. So, okay.
Breezy hit me with the smoky man.
That's what I posted. It was like,
yeah, man. So Brian, man. All right, now I'm gonna kick it to Brian first, because here's my logic. Here's my thinking. This is just very, very generic. This is not our official game preview, guys. It's not our official preview show or anything like that, where we're gonna give you the predictions and scores and stuff like that. But I gotta be honest, man. The Niners were supposed to go out there and throw for 400 yards against the Seahawks because they had the worst passing defense in the league. Did we even hit 200 passing yards that game? I mean, we really struggled in that game, right? We were supposed to be able to run all over. Who did we play before the Seahawks? That was a game that the opposing team. Oh, was it the Dolphins couldn't run the ball or something like that? And they have one of the highest rushing yard totals against the Niners of all season. One of their best rushing games. It seems like the Niners were the get right team for other opponents. And so now people are telling me, oh, well, we're going to throw for 1 billion yards. We're going to rush for 100 million yards against the Bills. And I'm like, yeah, but what about those other times? Brian, man, why are people so optimistic about this team? Not going forward. I'm not talking playoffs. I'm not talking anything, but just this coming week. Why now? What's up? What's up with where's the faith? Is it the holiday season? Is it the Christmas tree? Is it too much eggnog? Are people drinking eggnog already? Like, what's going on?
No, I think a lot of it has to do with just how they handled the Rams. They were expected to get blown out by the Rams, and that didn't happen. And we have, like Breezy said many times before, we had Kyle's got McVay's number. It's just the way it is. I mean, fortunately for us, for the last 2 seasons, we've been able to sweep them. So I think that a lot of people expected that McVay would come out with something different, and that didn't happen. And then we were able to hold our own with our backups like we have been. And now we have more people that just keep coming back to the roster and getting, our roster's looking a lot more healthy, with the exception of obviously Bosa being the big piece that's missing. I mean, you have Kittle, but I think Mike will probably like this, but Kittle's attributes are replaceable by the people we have on the team. When you look at the team as a whole, not by one individual, but when you look as a team as a whole, his attributes are replaceable. And I think that having the Bills come to Arizona to play, putting them on the road, and when you look at their schedule and they have to travel, they don't do well. And if you look at the Bills, they haven't beat any team by more than 10 points this season. So while they've been playing great and are a playoff and probably bowl contender, it's very possible that the 49ers can come out and just wipe the floor with them. It's very possible. So I think that's where a lot of the optimism is coming from.
Very well explained. Now, Breezy, you're the one who drafted this whole tweet and hit send, and you said it with the utmost confidence.
You know the confidence on 100.
So I want to know what's in your COVID flu drink that you're drinking. They got they have Tylenol
right,
COVID
look,
flu.
I got a lot to address because both of you guys said a lot. All right, so I got to start with Mike because Mike brought it back to the Miami Dolphins game, who said they rushed all over the 49ers. First of all, they combined 94 yards, Mike.
No,
That's not rushing.
I said I think it was them.
Well, it wasn't. I can tell you that right now. It hasn't been a game where there hasn't been any team where any team has rushed over 100 yards for the 49ers. It's been quarterbacks getting chunky yards. I kept trying to tell y'all these mobile quarterbacks at the wrong time get chunky yards to keep plays alive, like Ryan Fitzpatrick. What happened in this game, just to bring it back to your memory, just to do a quick rewind. Rewind. Remember that guy we brought in that started at cornerback and got torched 75 plays in a row? And we finally took him out in the third quarter when the game was like 40-3. I know I'd be exaggerating, but y'all got to live with me on this joint. You know what I'm saying? Kyle let that joint get away from him. And that was the issue. That was the issue. That was my issue with Robert Saleh not making adjustments. That's what happened in the Miami game. And then, of course, we know we had to go on and play. Now, look, Brian said that Kittle is replaceable by Brian. Say what you said again, because I don't want to misquote you.
Okay, he was going to misquote the hell out of me.
Essentially, all I said was the attributes that Kittle brings are replaceable by the team, not by an individual player, but by the team. Dwelly can block, Reed can catch. I mean, Reed can block too, but I mean, the piece when I was talking about specifically was Bosa being not on the field and the energy and his ability to do his part of the job. He is a difference maker. Kittle's a difference maker too, but we don't have anybody to replace what Bosa can do as an individual.
Okay. I can agree with that.
I was just trying to correlate the two.
But I don't think we have anybody that can replace Kittle either. See, Kittle is
one person.
So Kittle is a matchup nightmare, just like Bosa is a matchup nightmare. So if Bosa was on the defense, they would be double teaming him this season for the simple fact they scared of him from last season. So that
they
means
be able to double team him because they got a double team Kinlaw right now.
they don't have to double team Kinlaw, and they don't have to double team Armstead, and that's what we want. We want Bosa double teamed. We want Bosa double teamed so that defensive line can do this all mother freaking day, and that's the issue with Bosa being out. So he will get double teamed. I think I get where you're going with your correlation. I don't think Kittle's production is replaced. Maybe his attributes are a little bit when you combine people. But just imagine if he was on the field and then you can use other people elsewhere. I think that would be awesome.
No, when we have all of our pieces to the chess match, it makes our team much more difficult to beat. But when you look at what happened last week, Debo basically took over Kittle's role.
And
he was the go-to guy the entire second half of that game.
It's been like that all season, though. So we've always, every game, we've needed a go-to guy. Kittle was a go-to guy in one game. Mike got mad. Mike got so mad that he said that Jimmy Garoppolo was targeting Kittle the whole game. And he was pissed. Yes, you did.
It was Nick
Mike. Whoever the quarterback was targeting him the whole game. I didn't hear Mike complain one time about Deebo Samuel getting 11 catches for 133 yards. Not one complaint. I didn't hear one complaint one time when Richie James got 173 yards. Not one complaint. I don't know what Mike's gripe is with George Kittle, but he don't like him. That's what it is. Now, I do want to get back to the question that Mike asked because you guys did a good explanation. And here's my take.
Like Kittle.
No, you just got a free bobblehead.
Ignore him not having hands. My kids broke his hands off, but they right here. We're gonna get some super glue and we're gonna fix that. Now it makes it look like I really don't like him, like I'm over here torturing him. But
there you go. You breaking up Kittle.
So can't catch the ball like that, Mike.
Right.
You're right. So wait, really quick.
We got a contribution, Mike. Go
ahead. Before that, because Brian's point wasn't that Kittle period is replaceable. I think what his point was this, right? So we remember that Kyle Shanahan said that the game that Richie James went crazy in was supposed to be Brandon Ayuk's game.
Supposed to be, but they ain't play.
So Ayuk is out. You plug in the next guy. That same production happens from that same position. If it's a game where we expect George Kittle to go crazy, we can replace that with another tight end.
Yeah, I disagree because another tight end is not getting you the same yakage.
Reed, yes. Oh, okay. All right. I won't argue that. I hear.
Find me one game Reed got over 100 yards, and then find me another game where Ross Dwelly got over 100 yards. When you find me those games, we can reconvene on this show. But
without checking, I'm almost 100% positive.
Okay,
that Reed averages more yards of reception than Kittle.
I said, find me a game where they finish with the production. I didn't say per
if
catch.
If he got 15 targets, he would smoke Kittle's yardage.
I disagree. Listen, man, look. Whatever. This is why we're going to beat the daggone Buffalo Bills. Number one, they're in the AFC East. I don't know why we don't address that. When the Patriots were in the AFC East, it was, they're in the AFC East. Now the Buffalo Bills are the leaders of the AFC East, and they're this great, immaculate team. Get the fuck out of here. They ain't beat nobody, like Brian said. They play poorly against tough teams. What the 49ers have that they did not have were bodies. And I'm not talking about just regular bodies. I'm talking about some bodies. I'm talking about bodies on the field that know where they're supposed to be at any given moment on the field. The defense looked night and day, and we still had some weak links on the defense. Nobody want to talk about Tavarius Moore and how he gave up a couple of big plays because he essentially played well. But I tell you what, his angles still suck, and he better get better on them angles because he's going to have to deal with a guy like Stephon Diggs, who is an angle maker. So we still got some things we need to address, but I think the defense is going to play pat. And listen, we're getting that one guy we're getting back on offense. I think it will allow Nick Mullins to play better. I just think so. Why? Because now you got the deep pass game, and Nick wants to throw the ball. And Brandon Ayuk is our best deep runner. Can we agree?
Oh, I think Brandon Ayuk is hands down the best receiver on the season.
I'm agree with you, Mike. I don't know about Brian, but I agree. And with that being said, that's going to challenge their defense. Now, I loved Mike's first point, yo. It was so banging. We were supposed to torch the secondary of Seattle. Yeah, well, when you can't stop a Russell Wilson, I mean, it's hard to torch a defense when your defense is on the field 85% of the time. Like it's hard to stop that guy. So when your offense gets out there, they can't get into a rhythm. They can't do what they need to do. I believe it's going to be a little bit different. I believe it's going to be a lot a bit different. I'm not saying we blow them out. It's a Monday night primetime game. I just think the 49ers being in Arizona, being on the road at home, I think they just know they play better like this. And they just got pieces back, man. Come on, guys. They got somebody's back.
No, absolutely. And you bring up a great point. The fact that they're in, I know it's not great for them individually with their families having to be separated like that. Being in the military, I understand being away from your family is very hard to do, right? But when you get to be in an area where you're surrounded with your buddies, your friends, your teammates, and you're able to just focus on that, it makes you so much more, or brings your ability to focus just on the game. You don't have to worry about the little things. Yeah, you can, get on the Skype or FaceTime, whatever, and talk to the kids or mama or whatever you want to do. But when you can solely focus on your mission, your results are going to be better. And I think that these guys are with the players that are coming back, and the doubt that's been put on them by the media, and some of the disrespect that's been put out there by some of the media. I think that they're going to use that as fuel to make a run here at the end. And I won't say how far they'll go, but I think that they're going to put together a string here that you're going to see, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. All right. You know what? Scott Beatty has a contribution here. I know Breezy was going to get to it, and then I interrupted him, and we kept going. I apologize about that. That's my bad. That's my, rude boy behavior. I'm sorry. He says, is Kittle a matchup nightmare? First, I thought he was just putting a message out here, just to put it out here.
There's a question.
And I started thinking about it, and I think this is actually a really good question, because let's first start by defining a matchup nightmare. Isn't a matchup nightmare where you have a bad corner on a good receiver and he just can't stick with him?
I thought a matchup nightmare is no matter who you put on that player, excels.
Right. And you have no one on your team who can match the attributes of whomever the matchup nightmare is on the other team.
Key word tonight for discount on Manscaped is attributes.
Attributes.
So let's talk about this for a second, because I thought he was being facetious, and he might have been. He might have been like just poking a bit. Come on, like, guys, you're downplaying Kittle's contributions and worth to the team, but is he a matchup nightmare or not? I thought at first that's what he was saying, but now that we're here and we're kind of talking about it, let's end the show on this really quick.
I won't say that he's a matchup nightmare because of his abilities. He's a matchup nightmare for the way that he gets utilized in this system and his unwillingness to give up. Like, he will push through, obviously in the Saints game, 3 players and carry them halfway, well, at least 10 yards down the field. The energy that he brings and the balls, whatever you want to call it, the fortitude to do what he's going to do. That makes him a matchup nightmare, because he's going to take advantage of you in any way possible. And Shanahan's system works great for him. I mean, Kittle wouldn't be Kittle if he was somewhere else. I'll tell you that. Kittle is Kittle because he's here in San Francisco.
Okay.
That's my take anyway.
I like that.
I don't know. Kittle, I can agree to disagree with that comment, Brian, because I just believe Kittle's mindset is what makes him Kittle. His personality is what makes him Kittle.
Oh, I agree.
I think no matter where I'm not saying he would be as productive. But that not giving up attitude, I think that's him. I think the fact 100%. That he doesn't want to go down, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think this is why he can't stay healthy either. I think he needs to learn how to play football in the NFL.
I've got a torn rotator cuff. I'm not going to get it fixed ever. I'm just going to wear this brace for the rest of my career, or whatever you want to call it.
Mike's a doo-doo head, yo. So Mike's Kittle was on the IR right now.
He's got no hands.
I'm gonna get him fixed up, and then Kittle gonna be healthy. You watch, and then he's gonna be good.
Oh, so that's a voodoo Kittle.
That's what we're saying. That's like a voodoo doll, man.
And what's funny about Kittle is Brian said he got no hands, or Mike said he got no hands. Yo, he been dropping passes this season, yo. Wait a minute.
How to put his hands back.
We figured out why. Mike, fix that thing right now.
Now we know. Look, Mike got all the superstitious stuff at the crib, yo. It was one game he didn't have the right chicken wings. We lost. One game, I think he wore a jersey. We lost.
Yeah.
He
Can you
cut
check
off
his ankle
Kittle.
while you're at it?
He let Kittle's hands get broken, and Kittle dropped at least 7 passes this season.
I'm gonna put the hands back. I promise.
I will send you some crazy wood.
No,
You need wood glue, crazy glue, and what's the hot glue? Just get them all glues.
No, I got it. Look, it's right here, bro. I was supposed to do it. My son just confessed that he did this not too long ago. I got the crazy glue right here. No promo. But I'm gonna do that as soon as the show is over. But I do want to try to answer this question because Brian said, "Is George Kittle himself a matchup nightmare?" His answer was basically no. He himself is not a matchup nightmare, but the way he's used, is a matchup nightmare. And Breezy kind of seconded and kind of went against it, saying, "Yeah, but he's really tough to bring down."
Sure.
And that,
don't get it wrong, Mike. I mean, it is him. I mean, if you were to take any other tight end in the league that plays for a different team and stick him in the system, he may not be as productive because he's not Kittle. So Kittle himself still has the weapons, but his weapons are amplified by the system that he is in and his heart. He just doesn't quit.
Or his attributes are just better than the other tight ends. Because that's what I was trying to say in the beginning, because you just said what I was trying to say. Yeah, you got guys that could come in here and replace production from Kittle, but it's not the same production, right? Because Kittle could catch a 3-yard pass and go 33 yards, and then Jordan Reed could catch a 3-yard pass and possibly go 13 yards, and then Ross Dwelly could catch a 3-yard pass and go 4 yards. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what I'm saying also is that he benefits from being in the system. I mean, you stick him in Miami or you stick him in Baltimore, he's not going to be the same George Kittle we see now because he benefits the system that he's in. That's my thought process.
I don't think George Kittle is a matchup nightmare. I also don't think that he's just a product of the system. I think we have found a very good combination. And I'm going to tie this back to my argument a while ago about Raheem Mostert. Raheem Mostert's not the best running back in the NFL. And
if he was, he wouldn't have played for 6 or 7 different teams.
Exactly. And Kyle Shanahan's system doesn't just make guys that averages 7 yards a carry. However, when you find the perfect complementary piece to the perfect system, you get something special. And I think that's what we have with George Kittle here. So I hope that's not me taking it easy out. Breezy, you look disappointed in my answer.
No, I'm not disappointed. Everybody has their own opinion. I just think he's a matchup nightmare. I just don't think there are too many players in this league. Cornerbacks, you can't cover him with a linebacker. You better not put a lineman on him dropping in coverage. And you can't even cover him with DBs. Your best bet is to have some type of safety help. And if your safety can get to, remember, George Kittle isn't your big old gronky tight end, so you can't dive at his legs. He make you miss.
There's a lot of validity to what you're saying. I mean, you have NFL management, like, Seattle. Let's trade for Jamal so that we can control Kittle. That was their whole reason. They gave up 2 first-round picks for a guy to control one team they play twice a year.
Wait a minute, Brian, conspiracy theory. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute. No. Don't stop your thought. Just hold it. Wait a minute. Kittle ain't playing for a reason.
All right. Okay.
He not hurt. I'm trying to y'all could go ahead and do what y'all. The reason why, Brian, I asked you how much was Kittle making this season, because I wanted to know if it was for pennies or if it was for a chunky change. And it's a chunky change, right? It's $5 million. Right. I thought it was for pennies.
A small piece of his contract.
Right. But I thought that his contract kicked in next season. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So that's what.
He gets a considerable pay bump for what he's been making next year, but it's not the larger part of his contract.
And that's why I asked you, because I thought he was still getting like hundreds of thousands. And I'm like, oh, he chilling. You know what I'm saying? And then it come to find out he getting $5 million. So I'm like, all right. But I think just watch when the 49ers got to play Seattle and the NFC Championship game.
To answer wait, hold on, Breezy, because Kittle got a signing bonus worth a couple million, but his salary was the rest of his rookie salary, which wasn't a lot. So you're kind of
why-
right, and you're kind of, you get what I'm saying?
Right,
Yes,
that's
sir.
for
Got
this
it up
year,
front.
but next year he's only on the hook for 5.5 or 5.25 or
Right.
something like that.
Right. And that's why I asked, because that would make sense. Kittle kind of take a chill pill right now. We're gonna see where we stand in, come the end of the season. If we where we need to be, he gonna come back in, light it up. And
See, now you're using the same argument I used about Sherman. Like he's
that's my
getting his
argument
ass
too.
out so that we can pay him this year for the work he's going to do next year.
I was saying the same thing, bro. I was saying that. Go check
I
my
like
tweets. That's my thing. I'm telling you. And then Kyle Shanahan put out today about a tweet about Sherman or whatnot. Like, yeah, man, we talking, we chopping it up. We definitely would like to bring him back for the 2021 season. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, yo. A lot of we think, and I know this is not that show, but we think that a lot of players that aren't coming back, or a lot of these DBs and whatever, a lot of players that aren't coming back are players that are signed that are going to get cut, and you're going to see some familiar faces back on this team next season. I can guarantee that.
I like this, guys. I think we're gonna have to do some more of these random pop-ups with just one topic to discuss, and then let the conversation go for 25.
I like
30
that
minutes.
so much better, bro.
Yeah. I like this. This was cool. I'm going to read this comment here, and then we're going to get up out of here, guys. It's from Brian Sinat, a $20 Australian, I think, contribution. The A is in front of the dollar sign. Still think it's down to offensive line, I'm assuming.
Yes, sir.
If we can run a bit and get a bit of time to throw, we have enough weapons now. Plus, Kyle's schemes give us real chance because the D always shows. You're sounding better, Wayne, in fine form. All that means that you yelling again. That's all that means. That just means that you yelling again.
Yeah, but I ain't coughing when I yell. I still got the phlegm.
That's true. That's true.
But it's
That's true.
but you know, but you know what? He makes a valid point, and it's something we talk about. We talk about it, but we don't dig it. We don't break it down. B, yo, Brian, do we really break down the offensive line? You know why we don't break down the offensive line?
Only when they have bad games, Wayne.
Right, but you know why we don't stick to it? It's because we get into fights, right? Because Mike be like, he go back and watch the tape. He'd be like, "Yo, Mike McGlinchey only had 2 bad plays," and now we are like, "Are you kidding me? Like, really, Mike? Like, come on, bro."
True. But
it's not that it's just true. It's just the worst 2 bad plays in the whole game.
That's also true. Both can be true. Both can be true.
And we talked about camera angles. He just gets a lot more of it than Trent does just because of the side he's on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I still, damn, I said I wasn't going to say, nope, I'm going to shut up. I ain't going to say
Come on, Mike, spill it. Let's go.
No, it's that show, man. Pop it up.
No, because, I asked y'all about it in particular. I said, I think that we have to keep in mind that Mike McGlinchey was going up against the best defensive player in the entire NFL on those plays.
See, you can't just keep that in mind because
we use Dwelly to knock him around.
It's not
Did
just
you see that block by Dwelly on
Yeah.
Aaron Donald, knocked him on his ass side. Yeah,
Aaron Donald didn't fall.
He didn't
Dwelly-
fall.
he
He just
went
stumbled
sideways.
backwards.
Is what I'm trying to say.
It was like, yo, did you just touch me? Like he looked at like, did you?
You know, it knocked him off course, bro. It knocked him off course, bro. He didn't miss the chip block, bro. He
That
did his
goes-
job,
that
Jerick
goes-
McKinnon. He didn't miss the chip.
That goes to the point. He had a full head of steam coming across the field 20 yards, dove at him full strength, and Donald barely turned sideways. Now you want Mike McGlinchey, who I will tell you is not the best right tackle in the league. I don't even know if he's top half. I'm not saying that the guy is good. I just want to be
Say
clear
top
here.
16.
But he got beat twice by the best player in the league. I just feel like, yeah, it was bad. And it was Aaron Donald. And it was Aaron
But it's been
Donald.
all season, Mike. It hasn't always been Aaron Donald. How about we have a online sleepover, right? And we just watch Mike McGlinchey all the games. And focus on McGlinchey.
I'm down as long as you're willing to come on here and apologize afterwards.
Oh, I'm not apologizing because I said he's the
He already
worst.
said he not.
No, because he gives up the worst plays at the wrong time. And it's not always on the best player on the D. It's not always, but you can't get mad when it is the best player on the D when he the weakest link. They match that up. That scheme. We talk about scheme all the time. Yo, Aaron Donald. There. Okay, coach. Boom. He didn't even bulldozer over Mike. He juked him.
See it? He just went up and around like that's it. He was gone. Yo, and I have said multiple times, Mike just gives up the worst play at the worst time because it's when the game is on the line. I have said that. I have said it. I've said it. We're saying the same thing. The only difference is
I'm not apologizing because he's still trash.
Yes, that's the difference right there. That's it right there. All right, man. That's gonna do it for this show. We thank you guys for checking us out. We will be back with official game previews and latest news. We know that the 49ers, that Michigan is petitioning the owner of the team to try to get Robert Saleh. We know that the pressers were on when we started this show, and there's news coming out of that about the injuries and what's going on with D Ford and stuff like that. We promise you guys we will get back to our regularly scheduled program to bring you guys more stuff. But today was a little opportunity to bring you guys a little half-hour pop-up show. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave us some feedback in the comments on the rewatch and let us know if you enjoyed it. And if so, we will do more of these. I'm your guy, 49ers Mike _NFL. Above me right here is my man Breezy, Wayne Breezy on Twitter. And over here is my guy, Brian. He is STAR _9R on Twitter. Give us all a follow. You guys know where to follow us. Gentlemen, any final comments?
We're going to win on Sunday or Monday.
Mike, what type of buffalo wings we doing Sunday since we playing Buffalo?
I am getting some spicy
naked
spicy
ones.
Ooh, naked. I might have to do them naked because
I might do naked wings on the cooking show in the morning, yo. I might do some naked joints for the buffalo. You know.
All right, I want to see that. I'll be tuning in, man.
All right, bro.
Are you doing that Monday?
No, I'm gonna do it on Sunday because Monday I'm full game mode.
Yeah,
I want to be full game mode.
I'm thinking about calling out of work on Monday, and we don't play till night. That's
right.
How crazy I am. Like,
nah, I understand.
Guys, we will be back, man. Thank you all for checking us out. And Breezy is gonna take us.
We all gas, no brakes, pumped up, no fakes. We spinning, we winning, we high stakes. We never miss, we all makes. Look at us dudes trying to prove, bringing you news with nothing to lose. Mike, Nick, Tony, Wayne, Method Man, we bring the pain. Hey, see, I'ma confess it. We under the pressure. If you looking to find us, we them nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing but Niners. We nothing